You know that one friend that takes 17 photos of the same sunset trying to capture it perfectly? And that other friend who posts blurry photos at 3 a.m. with a caption that basically is their entire therapy session? You probably think one of them is maybe a little bit more annoying than the other, and maybe relate to the other a bit more. But here's what's wild. That instinct reveals something deep about how your brain processes reality. There's a 100-year-old art war that explains why you either document everything or overshare feelings. And it's not just about social media habits, it's about whether you trust the world as it appears or only as it makes you feel. And once you figure out which side you're on, your entire camera roll, your creative work, your relationships suddenly make sense. Someone asked me to explain Impressionism and Expressionism as art movements. But here's what I thought about. These aren't just painting techniques. They're two completely different operating systems for how humans experience reality. One asks you, what do I see? The other asks you, what do I feel? And you're running one of them right now. At least one, potentially two. In the 1860s, French artists like Monet started painting outside, working fast to capture light before it changed. They used loose brush strokes and vibrant colors to grab fleeting moments like a sunrise over water, people at a cafe, dancers mid-movement. The radical idea was that the impression of a scene, how light hits it in that exact second or moment, matters more than photographic accuracy. And here's the thing, Impressionism isn't just about painting, it's about presence. It's knowing the way morning light filters through your window, the specific blue of sky at 6 p.m. in the winter, the sound of rain on pavement. Impressionists understand that this exact setup of light, feeling, and circumstance will never happen again. When you take a photo of your coffee because the light looks perfect, when you pause on your walk because the air feels different, that's Impressionism. You're trying to capture something you know won't last. The danger? You can become so focused on capturing moments that you forget to live them. You watch the sunset through your phone screen, so busy documenting impression that you miss the actual experience. Fast forward to the 1900s in Germany. Artists like Edvard Munch created the screen, and that's not what a sunset objectively looks like, but it is what existential dread feels like. Expressionists distorted reality to express inner emotional states. The revolutionary idea was that emotional truth matters more than visual truth. In life, Expressionism is about raw honesty, even when it's ugly. It's refusing to pretend everything is fine when it's not. When you write poetry that doesn't make logical sense but captures how depression feels, when you dress in a way that expresses your mood rather than following trends, your code reflects your anger because you built it while in a furious state. That's Expressionism. You're making your interior visible. The danger? You can become so consumed by expressing your feeling that you alienate everyone around you. Not everything needs to be a chaotic outpouring. Sometimes a sunset is just a sunset. These movements are almost opposite approaches to the same problem. How do we translate experience into something shareable? Impressionism says, I'll show you what I saw, and maybe you'll feel what I felt. Expressionism says, I'll show you what I felt, regardless of what I actually saw. Think about social media. Impressionist Instagram is aesthetic photos of sunsets, coffees, outfits capturing beautiful moments, hoping the image conveys the feeling. Expressionist Twitter, for example, is a raw emotional post. Here's exactly how I'm feeling, and I don't care if it's messy. One starts with the external world and hopes to evoke internal feelings. The other starts with the internal chaos and distorts the external to match. The Impressionist moves through the world as an observer. You notice details others miss. You collect moments like pressed flowers. Your camera roll is full of "you had to be there" photos that don't translate. You make people feel calm. The Expressionist moves through the world as a translator of feeling. You make people uncomfortable sometimes because you're so honest. Your art is therapy. You don't capture moments, you reconstruct them through the lens of how they made you feel. Most of us oscillate between both, depending on what we need, but people might lean more towards one or the other. Impressionism without expressionism makes you a documentarian of your own life. You're there, you're noticing, but are you really feeling? Are you processing, or are you archiving? Expressionism without impressionism makes you solipsistic. Your feelings become the only reality. You lose the ability to see beauty in objective world because you're too busy filtering everything through your emotional state. The balance looks like this. Notice the world as it is. Translate what makes you feel. Observe the light on water, then paint what light means to you. Document the moment, but don't be afraid to distort it later to capture the truth behind it. Here's what these art movements really give you: permission. Impressionism gives you the permission to care about small, fleeting things, to believe your specific experience of sunset matters. Expressionism gives you permission to be messy, to let your pain distort your work, to prioritize emotional honesty over social acceptability. Both remind you that there's no objective way to experience reality. There is only what you saw, what you felt, and how you choose to translate that to others. So, the next time you're creating something, a video, a post, your life, you have to think, am I capturing the moment as it was or as it felt? Am I being an impressionist or an expressionist? The answer is you're allowed to be both and should lean into both. You just need to know which one you're choosing in that moment, why, and if it's beneficial.